Yeah. Ah, ah. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. Happy New Year to each and every one of y'all out there watching. It's your boy, Big Clout. That's right. It's your boy, Big Clout. We back. Happy 2024. It's 2024, 23. What year we in? Because I know in 2020, it was something about some bird flu or something. And then like 2018, it was something about a financial crisis. And then the stock market went down in 2008. Is that right? Look, I don't know, man. I'm just a random dude on YouTube. This is Clout Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. In today's show, today's episode, today's today's article that we're going to consume and regurgitate and react to and talk a little bit about, you guys might find this pretty interesting, especially if you guys have known anyone facing any type of homelessness recently or any type of evictions. Come on now, evictions. Any type of evictions lately. And so as y'all know, I took a little hiatus because I'm a father again, a new little baby girl. New setup. As y'all can see, I'm not in my room. I'm in the living room, actually. And this is going to change, too. But I had to change my setup for my Wi-Fi, for my internet connection. So it should be no buffering, right? Y'all know I had an issue with my last few live streams. And so, with that out the way, too, let's do a little bit more housekeeping. It's about 10:20 on the East Coast. My 3 little girls are sleeping right now. They have to go. Well, 2 of them got school in the morning. Let's clap it up for school coming back. But look, if they so happen to wake up, because I get excited, so I might say something really loud. I might hit one of these buttons. I might hit one of these buttons, and it might be a little bit too much. My wife might call me, text me, "Hey, be quiet, brother. Be quiet," right? And that's fine and dandy. The show will go on. We will continue to build it while we fly, right? So I'm not going to be so theatrical. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try not to be so loud. I'm going to try to calm it down. But we're going to talk about, and we're going to read, and we're going to see, and we're going to talk about this situation. The surprise eviction. Was it really a surprise? Some things going on down there in the Atlanta area, Decatur. Y'all know about Zone 6. Salute to Gucci Mane. You feel me? Look, and it's a struggle because I talk about this and I discussed this several different times in several different videos about the struggle of our Black women when it comes to these evictions. Yo, what's up? I see you on there on. If you want to join the stream, you can feel free to go ahead and hit that link, big dog. And I can pull you up and we can talk about what's going on in your area with evictions and what you see as far as prices and rent goes and all that. More than welcome to join the show. I appreciate you chiming in. But look, those of you who may not know who I am, let me introduce myself before we get into this video about the surprise eviction. The lady got evicted with her children, and she didn't know what to do, and she's behind on payments, and it's so hard to get somewhere else to live when you have an eviction on your record. We're going to talk about this. But before we get too deep into it, y'all, first question should be, yo, why am I listening to this dude about evictions? Why am I listening to this dude about real estate? Let me give you my introduction. Those of you who may not know who I am, let me reintroduce myself. This is Clout Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. I am Big Clout, a.k.a. Savalas Williams. That's my government name. But anyway, you're looking at and you're speaking with somebody and you're directly talking with somebody, or you listening to someone who has owned real estate, who has had property managers, who has fired property managers, who has had residents, who has did the boarding thing for the home. We have multiple people living in the home where I've also moved across country and rented my whole house out, right? I've also went to school for real estate. I'm not throwing no shade at nobody, But a lot of real estate agents and people you talk to in the industry, they don't have an academic education in the area. They hustle from the streets. They got some seminar. They've done some kind of speed boot camp with some kind of real estate agency. They don't have the academics to back them up. I do. That's not making me better or greater than anyone. It's just letting y'all know that I know that what I'm saying, I know a little bit about, right? I have an associate's degree in real estate. It's right here on my wall. I have a certificate of completion in commercial real estate. It's right here on my wall. I also have a bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration in real estate. That's in the other room, right? I have worked with military housing as a service coordinator and as a grounds crew member. So I know the outside game and I know the inside game. And I currently am a property manager, one of two property managers at an apartment complex where we manage 167 units. Do you hear me knocking? Do you hear me knocking? So I don't say none of that just to boast or brag, but to let y'all know that I know a little bit about the real estate game now. And so I really dedicated myself to learning about the discipline in real estate for the past several years, right? And so with all that said, these evictions, especially someone who is a property manager, I see them and it's just like, yo, what's really going on in America? We know that a lot of foreigners come over here and they can get housing seemingly just like that, right? You come over here from a different country in America, you can get housing. If you live in America, you're born in America, you have one slip up, you get evicted, they kick you out, they kick your mama out, they kick your kids out. Let me calm down because my kids are asleep. Look, and it's crazy. But this woman on this story in Decatur, Georgia, shout out to Zone 6. I think Master P actually did a video out there one time. Edgewood, is that what it's called? Edgewood? Anyway, look, I got people who live down there in the area, ATL, but they ain't got these problems. Well, my brothers don't. So anyway, they just bought a house a couple years ago down there in the area. But whose fault is it? And I talk about this several times, where we get these African-American women who are, let me say it again, are being evicted at double the rate of any other group of people in America. Black women who are single and who have children are getting evicted in America at double the rate of any other group of people in America. This is what the data and the statistics show us when we do our research and we study. And that's not hard to find. And so we're going to find this woman in Georgia who fits this. Is it a stereotype if it's true? Is it a stereotype if it's true? I like to eat watermelon. I like to eat fried chicken. My nose is big, my lips is kind of whatever, my teeth is big, you can say whatever. I got my African dashiki on that I got when I was in East Africa. I represent my people to the fullest as much as I can when I can. Salute to Kino Lifestyles in Tanzania. Is it bad if is it bad if the stereotype is true? Because from what I'm about to show y'all, look, let's answer this question first before we get into the video. How soon are they evicting? After 1 month, late, or several? This is a good question. This is a doggone good question. And I'm going to tell you the answer, and you're not going to like it. It all depends on what the lease agreement says. Let me change my camera a little bit. It depends on what the lease says. It depends on what the lease says. This is how soon people can get evicted. If the lease, no. I'm going to say this word, but take it with a grain of salt. Standard leases will say something to the effect of you have 3 to 5 days to make a payment. After that time, you will be charged a fee. That fee can vary from whatever the landlord wants it to be, the actual owner, right? Property management, okay, but it's what the owner wants, right? Some discretionary, it could be a property management company, but the property managers only do what the owner tells us to do. And after that, if you don't make the payment, the late fee payment after, let's say, 5 days, then hey, or on the sixth day, the property management company or the owner, the landlord, can go ahead and file eviction paperwork to the courts, to the attorney or to the courts, right? That's kind of typical generic. That's the generic answer to that. It can vary, but that's typically it. It's a great question. And it also depends on the property management staffing, right? Is it a lot of people in there? A lot of leasing agents and all this? Like, how big is the complex? How many units is it? How many residents are they dealing with? What's their workload, right? I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds, but that kind of all involved on how soon an eviction can happen, right? Now, with all that said, understand this too. As a renter, you have the legal right, at least here in Virginia, you have the legal right, even during an eviction process, once the sheriff's department comes to the door, if you have the check to pay for the eviction, to pay the debt, you're not getting evicted. So just an example, if you owe $4,000, you went to court, you've been found guilty or whatever, they say, yeah, the sheriffs are going to come out on this date, have your stuff ready to go, ready to leave, be out the house. We're giving possession of the unit back to the property management company, back to the owner of the apartment complex. Cool. Look, that day comes, the sheriffs come knock on your door. Hold on. They come knocking on your door, and guess what you got? A check. Woo! $4,000. You get that to the property management. They're going to go ahead and go into their little software system. They're going to run that check. Zoop. They're going to put it in there. Pay. Boop. Your account is now back at zero. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You are not getting evicted. Not only are you not getting evicted, but that eviction is not going to go on your record as unpaid debt. The eviction may still be on your record, but the debt has been paid. So guess what? When you decide to leave and get up out of there, you ain't gonna have no problems getting another place because the debt for the eviction was paid. Now, if you don't pay that debt for the eviction, then guess what? You're gonna have a hard time trying to get somewhere else to live. And that's just how it is here in America. So understand those few little things. So now let's get into this video. Let's actually watch this video. And we're going to talk about it now. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I noticed. Oh, I got to share my screen. Ooh, I get excited, y'all. Let me share my screen and do all this other fancy stuff. Forgive me, man. I be struggle streaming, y'all. I really be struggling out here. Just trying to provide y'all with a little information about these evictions. Here we go. Share this one.
Well, a Decatur mother is without a home this holiday season after falling on hard times. A Metro Atlanta realtor said, had she had known her rights, she may have. Well, a Decatur mother is without a home this holiday season after falling on hard times. A Metro Atlanta realtor said, had she had known her rights, she may have had more time to get some help. Teresa Bowles is live with us in studio tonight with her story.
Yeah, Jamie Godfrey says she wishes she would have looked more into her property management's background.
Pause. Now, they're saying right now that the person wished they would have looked into the property management background a little bit more. That statement really has nothing to do with the rest of this video. I don't know why they said that or why she said that or why that quote was used, but it's irrelevant to the rest of this video.
Because now she's facing the consequences. And every time she takes a step forward, there's another obstacle. Like most single mothers, Jamie Godfrey is just trying to make ends meet. This holiday, she had to break her daughter and son's heart.
I did have to explain to my kids that I won't be able to do Christmas this year because trying to pay for a place to stay is taking everything I got.
Godfrey.
So she had to tell her children, I got 4 little girls. Tell her kids, hey, come here. Come here. Mama love y'all. I know it's Christmas time, but you know, I ain't got no extra money right now for no gifts for y'all because it's so hard on me right now, you know, and I'm doing my best with what I have for y'all. So, you know, you guys won't get any presents from me, but maybe your dad, maybe your uncle, maybe your cousin, maybe your grandma, maybe somebody, maybe the church, somebody be able to help to give you guys some gifts because Mom, I just don't got it right now. And with all things being equal to this black woman who had 2 jobs, there's no shame in that. I'm not shaming this black woman for telling her kids that they may not have presents from her for Christmas. It happens. I tell my kids when I don't have no money and we out, nope, we ain't going to no McDonald's. You ain't getting no French fries. I'm sorry. I hear one of my babies right now hollering. You see, she might come up in here looking for me. But
Free had a home in Decatur. She says she was working 2 jobs but had to let one go to be there for her children. Then her wages were being garnished due to a medical bill.
oh, okay. So we actually we had 2 jobs. We gave 1 job up because we need to spend more time with our kids, or maybe the school schedule or something to that nature. You know, everybody's circumstances are different. We're not gonna go there. But I knew I had the kids. I knew how much money I was making. I knew the kids need to go to school. I know the schedule is this. I know their schedule is that. I was making it work with 2 jobs. Then all of a sudden, for whatever reasons, maybe babysitter didn't work out, maybe dad didn't work out, maybe grandma didn't work out, maybe grandpa didn't, whatever the case is, I stopped working 1 job. Maybe I was fired, but we don't know. Allegedly, we don't know. Maybe it was just too much because I have to work 2 jobs because their father, are we going, maybe the father's deceased. I don't know. We don't know the situation. Maybe the uncle is an alcoholic. We don't know. Maybe they just moved here from a different place and she really don't have any other help. We don't know. But the stereotype and the data and the statistics say that single black women are being evicted at double the rate of any other group of people in America. That's what the numbers show. That's what the data show. That's what the people who did the research about the evictions laid out for us. Here's a black woman with a couple of kids, I'm assuming, who's being evicted. And now we scrambling, looking for answers, going to the news saying it's the property management fault. It's the landlord fault. But I just heard, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's bring it back a little bit. And tell me, am I tripping? Am I tripping?
Then her wages were being garnished due to a medical bill.
Her wages was being garnished due to a medical bill. I am not an uppity person. I'm a regular, blue-collar, hardworking American. I have had my wages garnished a few times. Let me just keep it all the way gutter, like cheap butter. So from my perspective, there's no shame in that either. But let's not act like, I'm not going to act like it's my landlord's fault that I'm being evicted because I didn't take care of my business on the other side of this. You feel what I'm saying? Let's keep it pushing.
She got behind on her rent and was up for eviction, as if that.
I know I'm stopping a lot, but we got to talk about it. Got behind on the rent. This goes back to our question what our brother asked. Got behind on the rent. How long do you have to pay the rent before the eviction process starts? How long? Is it 1 month after one payment missed? Is it after 5 payments missed? Typically, it depends on what the lease says. And typically, the lease says after you miss one payment, you got 3 or 4 days to go ahead and pay a late fee and bring that account up, that balance up to 0. If you don't do that within 5, 6 days, we're going to do paperwork on you and send it to our attorney or send it to the courts directly.
That wasn't enough.
The renters wanted to sell the property.
The renters wanted to sell a property. Okay. This is why I'm always an advocate for ownership. I know right now the market's crazy as far as buying houses. The interest rates have came down a little bit, but they're still high. But if you ever have the opportunity and you can afford to make the monthly payments with the additional payments of your utilities to buy a condo, a small house, do it. Because you want to have the control. I want to be able to paint my walls, put up my curtains, drill some stuff in the wall without having somebody else in my ear. If I want to go plant a mustard seed, if I want to go have my girls ride bikes in the middle of the front yard, if whatever, we want control. Control also comes with options to be able to do what the renters are going to do or said they were going to do in her situation, which is what? Sell the house. Sell whatever she was living in. If you're the owner, guess what you have the option to do? Sell. As a renter, you don't have the option to sell anything as far as the property goes. So you will always be at the mercy of the landlord. But that's not the meat and potatoes of this story. They can try to make it seem like, oh, the landlord wanted to sell the property. That's why we are being evicted. But no, we already said earlier, you're being evicted because you fell behind on payments. This notion that the owners are selling the property has nothing to do with this situation. Nothing at all. Even if this situation came before you falling short on your rent, they have the option to sell the home. Now, they do have a legal right also to be able to give you a certain amount days notice, whether it's 30 days, 60 days, 90-day notice, and say, hey, we're going to go into this transaction. We're going to switch ownerships. Now it's up to the new owner to say, hey, we're going to keep this tenant here, or we're going to move them out to make changes.
And they gave us not even a good 2-week notice that we had to be out of the property.
I showed Godfrey's lease to a realtor.
There was one section in the lease that
So here's a professional. Oh, when I gave my description about my background, I also hold California salesperson's real estate license, right? I was on board with eXp Realty at one point before I moved to Virginia. And so this lady right here talking, she's a real estate expert. I'm not as far as buying and selling real estate with clients. I'm not an expert at it, but I have went through the courses in California. I have passed the classes. I do have my license, and I'm working on getting it switched. But this lady is going to bring a whole different perspective to the situation because she's looking at it from a legal standpoint.
I would probably not tell my clients to sign.
Whitney Hanna explains that the agreement basically says if Godfrey is ever late on rent, the lease automatically terminates.
There you have it. The lease. So this real estate agent, this realtor, was very smart and looking over the lease. So I don't know how the lady ended up getting with the realtor to have her even look at the lease to see what grounds that she had to stand on. But the advice of the realtor was she wouldn't advise any of her clients to ever even sign that lease, which is spot on, right? It's spot on because of that one particular term in that lease agreement where if you are late just once, the lease can automatically be terminated. Whew. Now, I faced a similar situation when I was a renter when we first moved back to VA, where if you did not give, I was on a month-to-month lease, right? We were only staying in an apartment for like 3 months until my renters had moved out of this house, and so we can move into it. Anyway, the lease for the apartment complex that I was renting at, the lease said they could not even terminate, but they could hold your deposit if you did not give a 60-day notice to move out. They would hold the deposit that you gave if you didn't give a 60-day letter to move out. Well, I was only going to be there for 90 days, right? And I missed the 60-day letter that I was supposed to get, that I was supposed to give them. I sent them a letter via email, but it was like within 30 days or maybe like 45 days. But I missed the 60 days. And I did not get my deposit. I fought it for a minute, but then after I read the lease again, I said, okay, they got me. I said, they got me. You just let it go. That little $1,500, take it. Right? It's not even worth going to get a lawyer over. Just have it. Because to be honest with y'all, let me just keep it gutted and funky with y'all. While I was there, I had some people living with me that weren't supposed to be living with me. Ooh. How many of us have done that? We sign a lease agreement and we say, oh, these people ain't living with me. We pay the fees up front. These people ain't living with me. But then you move these people in with you. So just balancing out life and my understanding, karma's gonna come back around. So my people that was living with me was like, oh, we need to fight this. I said, we can fight it. I read the lease agreement. I was like, they got me. I said, they got me. I'm the tech. They got me. Sometimes you just get got. But I'm one of the people where I can live with the consequences if I know I did something wrong, which I was not supposed to have anybody else in there living with me, which was wrong, right? They could have got me for that, but they didn't. So I just kept it pushing. So this realtor, she's just like, yo, I wouldn't advise nobody to sign it because of that term. Now that term is kind of extreme. If you miss one payment, you automatically get terminated. But that tells me that ownership probably has other plans and wants to be able to be shifty with that property, right? Why would they want to be shifty with that property? Because we already know what they said earlier. What she said? Oh, the renters, the landlord wants to sell the home, wants to sell. And so it makes it easy, it makes it simpler to go ahead and have these kind of transactions when it comes to real estate. Boom. These people ain't paying rent anyway. Let's get rid of them. Let's sell a property. Let's do it moving. Because the transactions in real estate actually, as far as the paperwork goes, takes 30 days, depending on how fast you can get the financing. 30 to 60 days to close on the deal, right? So the sooner I can get someone out of the unit, the quicker I can think about other parts of the deal, the situation.
I typically don't see that clause in the contract. Usually there's some way for you to catch up on rent.
Godfrey says she decided to pay back rent in hopes of saving her home.
So she went ahead to pay back some rent. So she was making payments. But what's the problem with making the payments? We just talked about it. The problem with making the payments is you've already fell behind. And according to the lease, if you miss one payment, it's automatically terminated. So from the landlord is, from my perspective of what I'm hearing is the landlord is wrong in this perspective. Did they continue to collect the rent payments, right? Knowing that the person was evicted, was terminated anyway? Now that kind of tossed up in the air, because you got to look at it like, yo, if I'm the landlord, I know you didn't make the full payment. I know you missed it. According to the lease agreement, you're supposed to be kicked out of here, or I'm terminating our agreement because you missed the payment. But now you're starting to make these little payments, $30 here, $50 here, $100 here. Am I collecting the rent just to try to catch up your account back up right? Am I going to collect the rent to get your account back right? Or am I going to collect the rent and still kick you out?
But no luck. And now properties are denying her left and right.
So properties are denying this lady left and right. Why? Because when you have an eviction on your record, there's something called the no eviction policy. And like I stated earlier in the beginning, it's not so much if you have an eviction, but it's that the debt is not paid off. You can have someone with an eviction, but the debt for the eviction needs to be paid off. In this case, if this lady did not finish paying off the debt to the eviction and was trying to find another place to live, no bueno.
We've been hopping around from here to there, hotel to hotel. My child had to sit in the car. Then I have to leave and go pick up the other one. I have to leave and find, somewhere for us to sleep.
Hannah says renters have to get evicted through the court system, which may have given Godfrey more time to look for additional housing.
Had she went through the court system? So this sounds like this lady, when she got the notice, she just couldn't make the payments, that she just said forget it and left. That's what it sounds like. I could be wrong. But the courts could have said, okay, I don't know the rules in Georgia, but the courts could have been like, yo, you got another 3 months to get up out of here, right? I know when we did our eviction, when I evicted our resident, our tenant from my first house, it took like 4 months for them to get up out of there. I heard it's a Virginia thing, taking that long. And so they lived rent free for another 3-4 months. I had to make 2 house payments. Luckily, I had just enough money to pull it off, but everybody ain't able.
Hannah says most renters don't know their rights. Her tips: have an attorney or realtor look over the lease agreement so that you can ask questions later.
This is what we've been saying for months now on this channel. And we've been promoting this for months now on this channel. Everything from the stuff that happened in Vegas, to the stuff that happened in LA, to the stuff that happened in Colombia. We've been telling people on this channel. I think I'm the only real estate person that does live streams talking and discussing about evictions on YouTube. Giving y'all the dirty, the real, the raw, what's actually happening in these streets. We've been saying for months now, for 7-8 months, you have to get a lawyer, a real estate lawyer. You have to get a real estate lawyer, especially when you're going through eviction. If not, you're just going to become another victim. And it's not fair. Why? Because 50%, Black women who are single are being evicted at double the rate of any other group of people in America. Excuse me. They don't have access to any kind of lawyer, but they do have access to free programs that assist with legal help during these type of situations. You have to look for your local county, city, government entities to be able to help you in situations like this. One of the key things is people wait till after they get evicted and after the court situation to go try to find help. When really you should be trying to find help when oh my God. I love this story because the lady tells us that she had 2 jobs. She lost one. As soon as that happened, she knew that she didn't have enough money to cover the rent. Not only that, that was strike one. Here comes strike 2. She got garnishments from unpaid medical bills. So she knows really, oh, I really don't got the rent money now. That's strike 2. Strike 3 and strike 4, you should have struck out all kind of ways. The lease agreement said if you fall behind and miss one payment, the lease automatically terminates. Wild. On top of all that, the owners or the landlords or the property management company had told you, what else they tell you? The home is going up for sale. You got to get out of here anyway. So however you want to toss it, you should have went to go find some kind of free legal help in your county, in your city, in your state, in your independent city, whatever it may be. As soon as things started getting rocky, getting on the edge, go get some help. Don't wait until the last second.
Know you're excited to get the keys and everything, but you need to take your time, read through the entire contract, because once you sign, you sign.
That realtor who just spoke is absolutely 1,000% correct. I don't know where she working, who she worked with, whatever, what brokerage she worked with, but she is someone y'all probably want on y'all team. She gonna give it to you real.
I reached out to Godfrey's property management multiple times, no response.
So this part is funny to me. Sorry for my dry humor. Reached out to the property management company multiple times, the news people. For what? Why? This is this is not a story. You talking about someone who mismanaged their situation. This has nothing to do with the property management company. So you can reach out all you want to. They're going to tell you, look in the lease. Okay, well, the lease is not fair because we normal leases for Decatur don't have terms where you can be evicted or terminate the lease as soon as you miss one payment. Okay, all right, let's throw that part out. We're selling the property anyway, and we're going to give you this 2-week notice. Okay, 2 weeks not enough. We'll give you a 30-day notice. What's the point of reaching out to the property management company? You know who you really need to reach out to? And y'all ain't gonna like this. Y'all ain't gonna like it. Or reach out to the owners. And you're saying, Cloud, why would you reach out to the owners? And why we're not gonna like that? Because the owners is gonna tell you, go to hell. Why they gonna tell you go to hell? Because if she's missed the payments, the owner most likely has missed the payment as well. not necessarily on the property, but he's missed her payment. So the money to cover that mortgage loan is not being paid. Maybe he or she is able to pay it out of pocket, but that's taken away from their business plan, from how they're running their business, whether it's a small mom and pop property management company or a large one. I mean, ownership or a large one. But we never look at it from like that. When we look at the news, the news is all about the victim, but we never look at the other victim, the owner, right? Not even the property management, because they the middleman, the owner on the other side, who got to make their payment to the mortgage company. But we don't care about them, right? Another person or people that we should look into is, I keep bringing this up because this is what the data and the statistics say, that when you are in a relationship with the man, then you don't end up in these situations as often. Why? Because in these kind of situations, either you have two incomes. Well, if she was working two jobs and he had one job, that's three incomes. If he had two jobs and that's four incomes, right? Outside of that, maybe the man could have made some kind of deal with the ownership or the property management in order to do some work around the house or whatever it may. I think it seems like a single family house, to do some work around the house, to say, hey, let me go ahead and paint for you, Mr. Owner. Let me go ahead and do some kind of handyman work for you within the home or for the property. Or let me go ahead and make sure the landscaping is good for you, or whatever the case may be, something extra that I could do in order to help, you kind of look over this rent payment until we're able to get some more income coming in. Maybe it happens with smaller mom and pop ownership, landlords and tenant relationships, right? It's been a couple times for me personally where I didn't have the money to fix something for the house, and then the resident was like, "Yo, we'll fix it, but just take something off the rent." Got you, all day long. Hey, yo, that's gonna cost about $900. All right, 900. They go ahead and get it fixed. 900 off the rent. Boom, boom. Why? Because I can go ahead and make that up later. Boop. Easy. But if it's just you and I'm not gonna say we. Some of our African American women put themselves in no-win situations because they want to be right about whatever their relationship situation was with their significant other or with their baby father. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. All right, that's how we're gonna end this. Let me stop sharing this. I don't even know if my man said teach a big clout. Winter has yes, sir. Look, I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm gonna end this. I went over. Salute to Saint African. Salute to Owen. I appreciate y'all. Hold on. Let me get to some of these questions before we get out of here. Let me go back to the top. So I answered that one. Let's go to this one. Is she receiving any state aid? I mean, I don't think she was. And if so, it's been instances where people receive state aid or some kind of Section 8 or whatever, and Section 8 don't send a payment in time. And so then we scrambling trying to figure out why Section 8 ain't sent the payment. But normally with state aid and stuff like that, we'll get the payment, but it'll be a little bit later. As long as that balance, when we run it, after we run the checks and everything, as long as your account balance go back to zero, you good with us. You definitely good with us. Like, hey, I don't think she was on Section 8, bro. She had two jobs. I mean, don't sound like Section 8. It sounded like she was just trying to be a hardworking, independent Black woman. But at the same time, sound like she didn't have a husband in her life, a baby father in her life, one of her baby daddies in her life, or I don't know. I'm saying multiple baby daddies. I seen two kids. I don't know. It could be the same man. And forgive me, because I don't know. The man could be dead. Who knows? If you in the streets of Atlanta, I watch Snow on the Bluff. Is that what it's called, Snow on the Bluff? Hey, whatever it is, look, RIP if that's the case. If not, uncles, cousins, church members, just good people in the neighborhood, some kind of network relationship with a positive male figure should be in the children's life. It ain't got to be nobody she's sleeping with, but the statistics and the data show that if you are a single black woman in America, you're getting evicted at double the rate because you don't have any man in your life who can help you pay the bills. Really, we're not going to talk about the 50-50 thing. We're just not going to talk about it. Salute to my man saying African. Winter is coming and going strong. Salute to the late, great Kevin Samuels, man. Keep cooking with shit's getting good. My man funny, you say keep cooking. Salute. Different daddies. You think different daddies, bruh? Hey, you never know, man. Because what? I mean, I think you know the numbers better than me because it's just like a majority of the women are having babies by only what? 12% of the black male population. They having babies by the same dude. It's crazy, right? You take somebody like myself, I got 4 kids, but all with one woman, right? I married my wife in 2010, and we got 4 kids together, right? And I know other people, females, you know what? I spoke with someone today, and they was like, no, they got 3 baby mamas. This dude got 3 baby mamas. He got 1 kid, then he got a set of twins, then he got another kid. But all his children are by different women. And that's one dude who, ladies, he not 6 foot tall. He don't got a 6-pack. He ain't making 6 figures. But he got 3 baby mamas. All black girls. All black women. And that's what y'all pick. That's what y'all pick. Thanks for sharing the number, saying African. I appreciate you, soldier. Truth, around 58% of black men are single and unmarried. It's crazy when you think about it. And you see this woman that was up here. Didn't look fit, didn't look feminine, didn't look inspirational. She could change her life, you know. I'm not against people changing their life. She could change. But dang, it's gonna take homelessness to make that change happen. And then you kind of, I don't know who went to the media on this case, because the media in this one just didn't correlate. Because nothing in this story that we just went over had anything really to do with the property management company. Why was this lady mad about this eviction when she's the one who had the garnishments? When the landlord, the owner has the right to sell the property if they want to sell the property. So why is the media? This make me mad, man. The same men are having multiple children by different women, and what's not accounted for are brothers like yourself who are married and multiple children from the same woman. The stats are skewed. Hey, we know you was trying to say women, big dog. Hey, tell them what that West Coast rent look like. Because obviously in Decatur, Georgia, you need 2 jobs, you need to not have garnishments, and you need to have a property owner who's not going to sell the property in order for you to make some kind of ends meet. What's the rent prices looking like in the Bay Area? Because in Georgia, it seems like these people getting evicted, and they want y'all to believe it's for no reason, or they want to play the victim game, and I'm not about that. You just take your loss. You take your lump. You take your lump. If you know you're doing something wrong, and it come back to bite you, it just bit you. Sometimes stuff happen to me all the time where it's just like, yo, I got this situation popping off, but you know what? When I think about it, I was wrong because I did this with that, and I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that with that, but I did it, and now it's coming back to bite me. But you know what? I'm not calling the media about it. My pops told me, fall off your bike, you get back up. Salute to the colonel. Ooh, in the bay, he said rent around 2,000 to 4,000. Yo, that's crazy. I seen in Seattle, $5,600 for rent, Seattle, Washington. Y'all peep game. My man said my rent just went up $100. My landlord was mad. I still had a copy of my original. Yo. So, all right. Let's kind of dig into this. So I remember we were renting an apartment in Stockton, California, a studio for like, this is before COVID, so prices wasn't that crazy how it is now. Rent was like $1,200 a month. Our year came up, they wanted to raise the rent $100, according to my man, right? Same, $100. I refused to pay $1,300 a month for a studio apartment. I just couldn't find it in me. Had the money. I was working at Tesla. Got my little other money coming in from school. I was straight. I could have did it, but I was like, nah. So why was the landlord mad though that you had that copy of the original lease? That's the part where I would ask questions about, because what does that have to do with anything? Unless you're trying to say that in that original lease, it said that they could only raise the rent a certain amount, which you may be owning something, because if he's charging you an extra $100, when the lease agreement said they're only going to do $50 a month at the end of every term, then that's different. Okay, here we go. So she tried to say that I wasn't paying the increase over the years, but when I showed her she was wrong, she started talking about utility she pays. I was thrown off. Yeah, I would have been thrown off too, because the utilities that you're paying got nothing to do with my rent, unless some kind of way. See, I know what on my property, what we do something called a utilities package, and so let's say the rent in total would be $800, but within that $800, we pay a $50 fee. Well, we charge a $50 fee for water, trash, and sewage, but that comes out of your rent. So your rent is $800, but really your rent is $750. Really your rent is $750. We charge you another $50 for a utilities package. Now, you're talking about an apartment complex with 167 units. And each landlord and property management does things differently when it comes to utilities. When I was renting out my house, I had the utilities. I had the residents, the tenants, responsible to pay all the utilities. Right, so I wasn't responsible for any of the utilities. It's on them. Right, the water, the trash, the sewage, all the utilities. It's on the resident. But yeah, man, definitely look into your lease agreements. If you have the original, like my man Saint African did, y'all might want to look into that. Because I don't know about in Cali per se, but really you can raise the rents however much you want to in VA. So the rent, this month or this year for many people may just be $1,500, but then next year they might raise that rent to $2,000. So you got an increase of $500. It's no cap, right? I think Cali is like a 3% cap. She raised the rent twice over the 9 years I've been here. She was wrong about my price, and she sent me another tenant's price. She forgot. Instead of admitting being wrong, she wanted to double down. Yes. Um, and I'm not trying to be, oh, big clout's a sexist. Oh, he's a sexist. You also sounds like you're dealing with a woman landlord too. So women can be really detailed about paperwork and admin work, and um, this is kind of weird because it's kind of good, but it's kind of weird because for her to only raise the rent on you twice in 9 years is really a blessing. Because if it's me, let me just keep it funky. If it's me, I'm raising the rent on you every year. Probably not $100 a year, $25, $25, $50, $50, $50, $100, $100. But depending on the relationship that you have with a resident, also, right? If y'all got good relationship, good vibe, y'all communicate with each other, you get things fixed when you need them to get fixed, no real big complaints. We got people who, like you, they've only been charged an increase. We have residents who stayed in our complex for like 15, 20 years, and they kind of grandfathered into a kind of an old situation to whereas, hey, we only gonna charge y'all $20 a year for increase, right? Hey, you feel me? Just add on whatever you want to add on to me. You know what I mean? Like, because it sounds like you're kind of even. You think logically. Yeah, I've been here 9 years. You only increased the rent twice, so I feel like I'm being blessed, and I'm fortunate for that. However, let's just cut the BS out, and you tell me what you want me to pay, so I can pay it. You feel me? You feel me? Not well, let me in. But yeah. All right, we're gonna get up out of here, man. It's been nice rocking with y'all. I gotta get up in a couple hours to go get my daughters ready for school and get myself up for work. Tomorrow, I will be wearing Happy New Year again, y'all. Please like, subscribe, and share. Look, I don't care what y'all say. Tomorrow, I'm wearing my white suit to work. It's the first of the year, the beginning of the year. I'm coming in the year fresh. I'm wearing my white suit to work, and I'm wearing the all-day camouflage loafers. You feel me? And on top of that, y'all gonna probably see one of my videos come out with the Ice Cream Man song behind it. Mr. Ice Cream Man, Mr. Ice Cream Man. Uh, uh. Hit the block dressed in white with some baggage of boat. Look, don't get your boy started, man. I do this in real life. You can ask Saint African about me. Oh, and what's up with you, soldier? I see you, big dog, hanging in there with me. Y'all have a good night. Happy New Year. I wish y'all much success throughout the year, much prosperity. Remember, if y'all got any, oh man, look, I've been slipping all stream long. Look here, in the description below, you're gonna find many links. You can pick any one of those links to support your boy on the channel and also help us bring out more content. You can also reach out to me through my contact information if you got any questions about anything related to real estate. Holla at your boy. I will answer them best as I can and as soon as I can. But once again, I do got 4 little girls. I am a husband. I do have an actual 9 to 5, and I'm doing this YouTube stuff. I'm just a hell of a nigga. So I mean, at the end of the day, but holla at your people, and thank y'all for watching. This your boy Big Cloud, where we mix the culture with the real estate. Y'all have a good night. Peace.